He said, okay, he's a little better. He said, but don't ever put no white dude on me because that is disrespectful. I was like, okay. Now, I don't know how America going to feel about that.
They'll be all right.
Larry Bird would probably beat LeBron 1-1.
Really?
Bird tough to defend. Why? Because he looks slow as shit to me. So it's like I'm missing something. So like, tell me what I'm missing. You know what I mean?
Larry Bird didn't just leave a mark on the NBA. He left a crater. Even in college, his dominance was undeniable. The Boston Celtics drafted him before he had officially committed to the NBA. When he finally joined, he was an MVP-caliber superstar right away, transforming the Celtics into a powerhouse and leading them on deep playoff runs. Bird's career became defined by legendary battles against the greats of the 1980s, cementing his place in history. Beyond playing, he thrived as a head coach and executive, becoming the only person in NBA history to win MVP as a player, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year.
Enjoy yourself, dog. Y'all gave us the run for our money. All right, take care. Thank you. Work on that golf game, yo.
Before Michael Jordan became the GOAT of the 1990s, he had to face Larry Bird and the Celtics in the 1980s. Despite Jordan's brilliance, the Celtics repeatedly knocked him out of the playoffs. Even Jordan admitted Bird's greatness early on. Though he admired him, those early playoff exits were a constant reminder of the mountain he had to climb.
So he's a tough, hard player that you actually you get angry at sometimes.
Everybody does. I mean, it's this common thing. If you had 273 professional athletes here, professional basketball player, and you say who's the 30th player in the NBA, I say 95% say like Lambeer or Larry Bird.
Really?
Jordan respected Bird deeply off the court, even inviting him to play golf. But on the court, frustration boiled over. At times, Jordan called Bird dirty because of his relentless, physical style. Few accused Bird of being dirty, but Jordan may have felt that edge whenever he struggled against him.
Okay, I'll put it this way. If Larry Bird played in this era, I think he'd be in Europe. So I'm just letting you know, man. Really, like I said, I'm just saying he'd be somewhere over there. Because, I think his game was fit for Boston at that time in the 80s and stuff like that. Today's world,
Rodman once controversially said Bird wouldn't succeed in today's NBA, even suggesting he'd fit better in Europe. Meanwhile, Isaiah Thomas recalled Bird being offended when Detroit assigned a white defender to guard him. Bird felt it was an insult, so the Pistons eventually put Rodman on him. That move sparked one of the league's toughest matchups.
He said, hey, man, you can't put no white dude on me.
Hey.
That is straight disrespect, right? He said, don't put no white dude on me. So check this out. So the next year we come back, I said, I got somebody for your ass, right?
Yeah.
He said, who you got? I said, Robin. He said, okay, he's a little better. He said, but don't ever put no white dude on me because that is disrespectful.
Bird was one of the greatest trash talkers ever, but he did it with humor and wit. His confidence was unmatched, often making opponents laugh even as he embarrassed them. His rivalry with Magic Johnson became the stuff of legend. Though fierce on the court, Magic now admits Bird pushed him to greatness.
And I'm glad that we came in together because I had somebody to measure myself to.
Right.
And say, hey, okay, he's great. I can't let him get too far ahead of me. I got to work hard because I want to stay in.
How was you guys' relationship? How would you describe your relationship? Obviously, you beat him in the finals in '79. But how was your relationship once you got to the NBA? Because I think the thing was, he was Rookie of the Year. I think you got like 1 or 2 votes.
That's all.
Bird crushed Magic in the Rookie of the Year race, something Magic says still stings to this day. Instead of bitterness, Magic used it as motivation to match Bird's greatness. Even modern players like Gilbert Arenas have said they'd pick Bird over LeBron James in a one-on-one matchup, a true testament to his timeless skill.
Larry Bird would probably beat LeBron 1-1.
Really? Larry Bird would beat LeBron James
one-on-one. Because one-on-one, it takes away from everything LeBron has, right? His physical strength, his speed, right? And, all that power he has going. Well, in one-on-one, you're talking about 1-2 dribbles. That's not his pointers. Yeah, that's not his game. That's Larry's whole game.
Former teammate Danny Ainge recalls Bird's unshakable confidence. Bird would literally tell defenders exactly what he was going to do, then do it anyway. No matter how they adjusted, he still scored with ease. His belief in himself was unlike anything else in basketball.
I always considered myself a confident player, but Larry was entirely. There's so many stories I have about just him taking games over, and coach would call a play, and he's not right. It's just okay. He's just gonna take it and score. But he just had so much belief in himself. He could get a shot. With double teams at the end of games, teams knew what we were running, and he'd still get a quality look off.
Even Kobe Bryant couldn't initially understand Bird's dominance. To Kobe, Bird didn't look particularly fast or athletic, yet he was unstoppable. Kobe asked Showtime Lakers legends what made Bird so special. He discovered it wasn't just skill. It was Bird's mind, his IQ, and his mastery of the small details.
Bird tough to defend. Why? Because he looks slow as shit to me. So I'm missing something. So tell me what I'm missing. You know what I mean? And so I would always ask questions and try to learn as much as I could. Right? No? I was a different generation. You guys probably never seen Larry Bird play, which is just how many have seen Larry Bird play?
Hey, everybody's seen Larry Bird play.
That's not a high enough percentage. We got some work to do.
After studying Bird's game, Kobe became one of his biggest advocates, urging young players to study legends like him. Lakers guard Byron Scott added that Bird's calm trash talk and ability to call his shots before hitting them made him terrifying. He dared defenders to stop him, and no matter what they tried, they couldn't. That mix of confidence, skill, and psychological warfare is why Larry Bird will forever be Larry Legend. Michael Jordan has always been known as a man of few words, but when he spoke about Larry Bird, the world listened. Bird wasn't just another opponent in Jordan's path. He was the wall that kept the young Air Jordan grounded before his dynasty took off. And when Jordan finally opened up about Bird, his words were so powerful, so brutally honest, that even Larry Legend himself had no comeback. It was a rare moment in sports history when one titan acknowledged another, not with trash talk, not with jokes, but with raw truth that shook everyone listening. Jordan admitted that Larry Bird wasn't simply a rival. He was an obsession. The kind of player who forced Jordan to elevate, who forced him to rethink the game, who stood as proof that greatness had no shortcuts. From Boston Garden battles to off-court respect, Jordan revealed how Bird's relentless toughness, his genius-level basketball IQ, and his ability to dominate without flash or speed made him one of the deadliest players he had ever faced. And the way Jordan described it, with that signature intensity in his voice, left no room for argument. Even Bird, a man famous for his wit, trash talk, and never backing down from anyone, sat silent when confronted with Jordan's truth. Because deep down, Bird knew Jordan's words weren't empty praise. They were reality, spoken from the mouth of the greatest player of all time. When Michael Jordan finally spoke about Larry Bird, his words cut deeper than any highlight reel or stat sheet ever could. Jordan didn't sugarcoat the truth. He declared that Larry Bird was the toughest, smartest, and most relentless competitor he had ever faced. Coming from a man who built his career on destroying legends, that statement was like a thunderbolt. Jordan described Bird as a nightmare matchup, a player who didn't need speed or vertical leap to dominate because his mind, his confidence, and his skill set were sharper than anyone else's. Jordan admitted that every time he walked into Boston Garden, he knew it would take more than talent to survive. He had to outthink Bird, and most of the time, he couldn't. Those words left the room frozen. Larry Bird, famous for his trash talk and quick comebacks, had nothing to say. The silence wasn't weakness, it was respect. Because even Bird knew that Jordan's words weren't just compliments, they were the ultimate acknowledgement from the greatest player to ever touch a basketball. It was the kind of respect you don't ask for, you earn it. And in that moment, Jordan's powerful truth transformed their rivalry into something bigger than basketball. It became a story of two legends bound by the fire of competition, where one finally admitted that the other had shaped his greatness. When Michael Jordan looked back at his battles with Larry Bird, he didn't just praise him. He dropped a truth so powerful that even Bird himself had no answer. Jordan revealed that facing Larry was like playing against destiny itself, because no matter how prepared you were, Bird would still find a way to break you down. He wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the strongest, but he was the smartest, and Jordan admitted that intelligence on the court is what separates legends from everyone else. For a man who prided himself on being untouchable, Jordan openly confessed that Bird forced him to dig deeper than he ever imagined. The shock wasn't in Jordan's praise. It was in the silence that followed. Larry Bird, the king of trash talk, the man who always had a comeback ready, stood still with nothing to fire back. Because deep down, even Bird knew Jordan had spoken a truth bigger than rivalry. It was the kind of respect that only two icons of the game could understand. And in that rare moment, the fiercest competitors turned into reflections of greatness, where words were no longer about insults, but about immortalizing each other's legacy.